Okay, today we are going to speak about a really nice question, which is about why people start to practice meditation and spiritual self-inquiry, and why people stop to practice. And of course, we have so many friends and examples when somebody can start meditation and self-inquiry in some spiritual journey, and in 2-3 years and 5 years just something happened and people just leave it. There is no any one and only reason for both, for the beginning and for the unfortunate end. We may like it or not, but a huge reason to start meditation and mantra and spiritual self-inquiry is suffering. If you experience any kind of suffering in your life, especially for the Westerners or modern type of Indians, because I spent years and years in India, and I may say that the modern people, young or middle-aged people in India, they pretty much like Westerners, and the way they live, the way they think, it's not great difference from Americans right now. And when I speak with especially young people, young Indians, they are in a kind of shock, and they immediately say, "Oh, come on, guy, are you incarnation of my grandfather?" Because when I speak about old Indian Hindu tradition, the way it was with my Guru Yogi Rama some years and years ago, they say, oh, really? India was like that, Yeah, it was like that, very traditional, especially South India, Tamil Nadu state. Even in the end of, 20th century, it was very traditional society, very sweet. Now it's also sweet, but another kind of sweetness. But anyway, for modern people, both Westerners and modern type of Indians, to come to the field of meditation quite often is the result of crisis. It can be poor health, it can be broken family life, it can be somebody's death, maybe some close relative or friend can die. Any kind of shock, any kind of suffering. You can lose your money. Like, yesterday it was like few millions of dollars your bank account. Today you have nothing because of any reason. That's crisis. Or maybe you spent years thinking about that you have happy family life, but now you're in a state of divorce. All kinds of problems. They push to meditation. They push to the self-inquiry because people start to ask questions. Why it's happened with me? And then they jump to the psychotherapist, they jump to the astrologer, they jump to the spiritual literature. And then they, step by step, they come across such things like, my past lives, my karma, my horoscope, many things. Then they come to know about God. Surprise, surprise. He's also, his blessings, And I think that without suffering, many people in this world never ask important questions about why I have this suffering, what's the hell going on. And that's huge. Some people start to practice spiritual disciplines just, because it's happened naturally. That's wonderful. And I may say that I started my meditation and yoga and mantra just naturally when I was 8, 9 years old. And since the age of 11, it's just everyday job for me. And it was absolutely natural, no reason for that. Later on, I experienced certain problems in my life. I was badly ill for years. I experienced suffering and difficulties. Very classical one. Now I have a wonderful relationship with my parents. They're almost 90 years old, and last 15 years we have wonderful relationship. But before that it was not nice, and that part of life. I was badly ill for 15 or 20 years. It was a karmic reason, but I was struggling to come back to life, So it means for me the very beginning, and maybe first 10 years when I was teenager, just naturally. Just memory from past life. You're practicing meditation, mantra and Hatha yoga, and no reason for that. Just it's a natural memory from past incarnations. Wonderful. But then huge problems started in my life, and I feel gratitude to my problems, because intensity of my meditation and mantra, it was impossible for me to practice so hard without problems. It's like we have a few nice books in Russian language. It's available in English as well. Mr. Sinelnikov, a very important author and spiritual teacher. And this Mr. Sinelnikov, he wrote a wonderful book. I'm not sure what is the English title for this book. Something like you have to love your disease. You have to love your illness. Something like that. And this book is the bestseller book in Russia for last 20 years. And in the very beginning, in the one big publishing house, they told, are you crazy to write book with such a title? But the point is that if you're able to understand the meaning, the message of your disease, illness, or just any kind of problem, then only you can really manage it. If you struggle, then never-ending process of struggling. So it means anyway, the purpose of problems is huge. Well, of course, sometimes people start meditation because they wish to use it as the supernatural tool for the different kinds of ego type of goals. And sometimes people think, I have goals to be powerful, to be successful, socially rich, to manipulate people. How can I manage that? Let me try prayers, pujas, rituals, mantras, and that's also a possible way how people start to practice, but that's not real practice. It's not real, it's not genuine, it's just the idea to use, it's actually black magic actually, yeah. So the idea how to use mantras and all that chakras and all that kundalini power to fulfill my egoistic desires. Sometimes people also come, sometimes people just, interesting, they they just losing job, and they think, hey, how can I start my own project? Okay, why not to become yoga teacher? It's nice business. Then why not to go to Himalayas, to Rishikesh, or to Mysore, South India, to get some certificate and start my own business? Of course, that's not spirituality, it's just, but, in a sense, if somebody is thinking about kind of good job for the people, okay, I may teach people Hatha Yoga, and I'm going to be healthy, and people whom I teach also going to be healthy. That's why not? Why not? It's not spirituality, but at least it's like health care. But why people are losing interest? Why people stop? Many reasons, and one of them is sometimes people practice too much in the very beginning. It's interesting, if you're practicing in a lazy way, it's bad. But if you practice, too many hours every day, let us say, then you may just become tired. And I actually seriously speaking about that, and I know few friends just stop meditation and the mantra because in the very beginning they started many hours every day. In a couple of years, just tired, just opposite reaction. Sounds strange, but it's reality. So that's the reason why it's important to practice step by step. It's important to practice every day, maybe a little bit, but it must be comfortable. Every day, comfortable. That's important. Then it's bring certain result, which is peace, bliss. And those people who wish to try many hours of meditation every day, losing interest, opposite reaction. Okay, expectations, wrong expectations also can be reason, because people think that, okay, I'm going to experience absolute consciousness alignment in a couple of years, or lucid dreams, or out-of-body experience, whatever. And if it's not happened in a couple of years, people are losing interest. So wrong expectations. Sometimes disappointment with the gurus can be also, because it's always questionable question, that most of the gurus are cheating. And it's not new. Because guru business is profitable, and it's may bring not only financial profit, but also, feeling of importance. Not only financial, but I'm greater than Mr. President. Because really, gurus are more powerful than Mr. President of any big country, including the United States, Even American president has certain limitation in his power. Some gurus, they don't have limitations, So it's a ego trick, huge ego trick. And quite often people, Westerners, they go to the, to Indian ashrams, to Buddhist, to Hindu, to Tantric, to yogic ashrams. They spend years there, but then they come to know that it's just cheating business. Really, people are not interested in spirituality, just managing certain financial, sexual abuse. Then they start question what's happened. But first of all, the genuine master is empty. He is just pointing to the self-inquiry, nothing more. self-inquiry with the help of philosophy, with the help of wonderful tool, which is meditation, which can be Kriya Yoga meditation, Zazen meditation, mantra yoga meditation. Yeah, the proper master is empty and just pointing that, okay, look, this philosophy, this meditation, you're free to practice, you're free to be yourself, you're free to learn from me and from 100 other sources. But quite often, yeah, okay.
But master also should be kind of inspiration for the student.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, important is not master, important is student. That's the tricky thing, and sometimes people can be disappointed in the master, and that just misunderstanding. Because important is student, and the absolute consciousness, true self of the student. Master is just giving tools, philosophy, teach meditation, and of course, master must inspire. But also, master may behave in a way which is contradicting with a so-called tradition or expectation. Okay, some people think that the master must, be monk, but so what if he or she is a family person? Master must do this, that, but that's just a nice picture, because the master is the one who himself or herself is in the process of self-inquiry. And it can be whatever style of life. He or she can be family or monk or nun. He or she can be a vegetarian or not. Drink wine and smoking or not. No, but a lot of disappointment is about all that outside things. But the point is that the master is the one who himself or herself in the process of self-inquiry and pointing to that self-inquiry. And the true master is free from desire to possess. Okay, if student is happy, that's happiness for the master. If student is just go and learn from 100 other sources, that's happiness for the master. But what we see, most of the masters, they want to possess. They say, okay, if you concentrate on me and my tradition, then only you can reach certain level of enlightenment. Rubbish, complete rubbish, because only free person can be spiritual seeker. No freedom, no spirituality. But free person means free. It means it's possible to come to certain master and learn something, but then tomorrow say, okay, that's nice, but I want to learn something more from the next door ashram, and it must be okay, but it's not okay for the most of the traditions. Okay, I know a lot of I have friends and the people whom I know, they spent years in certain ashrams or in certain traditions, and then they become disappointed with the personality of this or that master because of serious reasons, because of manipulations. And then they start to think that all masters are like that. But it's not, because, most of the traditions, they are manipulating. But it's not always like that. And if you're disappointed in this guru, don't think that each and every guru is like that. And, you must know that if you come across this situation, if you spent years with this guru, it must be your level of consciousness. It must be lesson for you, to you, about you. And if you are angry with this guru, then it means you didn't learn your lesson. So gratitude it means you are complete. You finished this lesson, you are complete about this, the situation only if you feel gratitude. And if you understood that, again, I spent a few years with this guy, and this guy is not really the one, but okay, it's my life. I came because of my free choice, my free will to this ashram, to this tradition. Anyway, I learned techniques, maybe mantras, maybe some experiences from the situations. Oh, thank you very much. I have to go, like, learn something more. Anyway, yeah, okay.
Maybe we can say that the most of the people who give up the spiritual path, it's because of kind of misunderstanding of spirituality, spiritual path, master, meditation. It's kind of misunderstanding. Yes?
It's misunderstanding. It's a confusion in the mind from the very beginning. It's wrong expectations. It's a result of conditioning. When people create picture, they have certain conditioning how it must be, and then they face the totally different situations. And okay, how to overcome that? If you're a free person, free philosopher, free human being, free thinker, if you're independent enough, if you're clear that, okay, I may learn from 100 sources, maybe from 1,000 sources, but I am myself, and I'm free to participate in any seminar, to work with any master, to read any book, to practice myself. If I'm a free person, then no chance to be disappointed with this or that guru. Because even if you know that certain guru is behaving improperly, even from that person you can learn and say, okay, I don't like everything in you, but this you may teach really good. Okay, thank you for this, and all the rest is not my business. So,
yes, but I can say that many masters today don't like to see you to be free. In fact, they don't want you to be free.
Yeah, of course, that's the problem. And they may explain to you very logically why freedom is wrong. And it's difficult not to agree with this stupid approach, because the logic is simple. Let me, in a couple of words, I may repeat it. If you have good concentration on certain tradition, on certain guru, then you can grow spiritually. That is the logic, but it's wrong. Because you don't need to be devotee of certain guru. You must be devotee of the Lord God, who is in your heart. Sounds nice, but we as the Westerners always forgetting Christian Bible or Jewish Bible. Okay, of course, Christian Bible includes New Testament, and for Jewish people it's only Torah. Okay, some Westerners are Muslims, especially in Russia, and they practice meditation and yoga. We are forgetting about our scriptures, and a clear message is that you have to worship to God. And even if you come to certain mystic, it can be Jewish, Christian, or Islamic, he is just giving you some instruction. But the point of your devotion to God, and God is in your heart, and that's very much Biblic and very much yogic approach, by the way. And if you have this understanding, then no cheater can explain to you that worship to me and then you will benefit. Yeah, okay. So it's so if you have clarity about Lord God in your heart, and that you are absolutely free person because you have Lord God in your heart, then no confusion, no disappointment. Then clarity, step by step, spiritual process of self-inquiry.